Hello everyone. So after using this dryer for three weeks, I thought I'd share my overall opinion on it and how I've got on with it so far. So the dryer that I've got is a Grundig GR 7700. If I find the model number, GT76824EW. So I have had this dryer about 3 weeks, nearly a month now. And overall, like, it's been excellent. Absolutely excellent, so it has. So I will give you a tour of it. I've got it on. So if I turn it on, everything lights up. You do get a nice drum light right up here in the drum, so you do. It's a nice white LED that they used to have gone away with the orange one that they used to use, and you have a nice white one, which personally I do prefer. So you do have that. And basically with this dryer, Grundig have started to basically be aware of all of the damage that we're doing to our planet. Things like throwing out like recyclable waste in the streets, littering and all of that, of the like plastic bottles and all in the ocean and places like that. So what they have done is the likes of your fluff filters and also the water tank in the drawer. They have actually made these water tanks and the fluff filters and also the back panel of the dryer out of recycled materials that they've like collected from like the ocean and places to help protect the environment. So the filters and stuff and the water container have changed slightly, so they have in design. These are extremely easy to clean. It does come with double filters for your fluff. You do need to clean these out after every use. I cannot stress this enough. If you do not clean these out regularly, you are risking basically setting your house on fire. Like, it is serious. They do need cleaned. So this dryer does have what is known as heat pump technology. So basically what that means is, instead of using a heater to heat up the air, but I will get on to that in a wee second regarding the heater thing, because this one is ever so slightly different to regular heat pumps. But basically, instead of using a heater to heat the air, it will use a compressor to heat the air instead, which is way more energy efficient. As you can see, this one is rated a triple plus for energy efficiency, whereas the likes of your normal condenser dryers are only rated at about like a B for energy efficiency. So regarding the heater thing, basically this dryer is a hybrid. So as you may have noticed on the drawer already, it has what's known as ExpressDry technology. So as you can see, the dial is on cottons. If I press ExpressDry, you will notice that the time has went down. So basically what that will do is, this one has got a heater and it will only use it if you press ExpressDry. So it means that it will use the heater and the compressor as well to heat up the air, which will make it dry faster. So it will, but like even without ExpressDry on this, it does dry extremely fast. Like a typical load of washing that I do, I typically stick it on max drying level, extra dry, so I would. And I just alternate between everything, to be honest. It only takes about an hour to dry, well, about an hour and 15 to dry a normal load of like, say like t-shirts, socks and trousers, etc. So it does, unlike typical normal, like quite a lot of dryers, this one has got an inverter motor in it instead of like a normal motor, so it does. So basically it's much quieter in use than a conventional dryer, and it also means that it can control the speed of the drum whenever it's on. So it wouldn't have one set speed. It has multiple speeds depending on what you use. So what I'm going to turn to now is quiet drying. Quiet drying is amazing if you want to dry a load of washing at night. Even though that says 4 hours, it will not take that long, as it does have sensor drying. So if I open up the drum and the lights came on for me, you will notice if I pan you down, you see these two metal bars here? So basically what they do is they measure the moisture inside the drum while it's drying, and it will stop once the dryer has reached your selected dryness level. So, but you've also got a time program as well where you can set a time yourself if you want, but I'll never use that. So anyway, on to quiet drying. This is amazing if you want to do drying in the middle of the night. It is extremely quiet. I will stick it on for you now, just to give you an idea of how quiet this actually is. That's how loud it is. Like on quiet drying, obviously you will have the clothes tapping about, but even then it's not that loud. So it's not on the likes of quiet drying. So it's not like this is literally the loudest it will get on it, and it'll just be like that for as long as it needs to dry, which is good. So if I stop that, right, stop now. So anyway, so yeah, let's just stop there. Obviously you can pause and stuff like that. You do have, like I say, you can control whenever you want the drum light on or off. So if you were to come in while the dryer is on, you can press the drum light to see what's going on inside. So you can. You've also got an anti-crease function. So if I press this button for 3 seconds, it'll turn it off, and then if I press it again for 3 seconds, it turns it back on. So what this will do is it will, once the dryer's finished drying everything, it will keep it tumbling for, I think it's up to 2 hours on this. It will keep it tumbling once it's done, meaning that your clothes won't crease. You can also turn the buzzer on and off. So if I turn it off, as you can see, it's not beeping at all, so it's not. And you've also, I'll turn it back on. You've got a child lock on it as well, which is good if you have little children. Oh, because like I say, all of these buttons are like really touch. So they are. So even if like you walk past the dryer and like your t-shirt brushes against this display, it will respond to that. It is very, very touch sensitive. But what it also does, you see, it doesn't change it whenever you turn the dial over, which is really good as well. So along again, you have low temp option, and you also use that to control the time on the timer program. So with low temp, it will basically reduce the temperature that the dryer dries at, but even without it, it still dries considerably low compared to a conventional dryer. So it does, like as you can see, this dryer is in a very small spare room in my house. Even like with that door pretty much closed, the room doesn't get hot at all. Like, it barely even heats up the room. It doesn't turn it into a literal sauna like some other dryers do, and it doesn't cause like any damp either, although we do have that window open like all the time. But even still, it does not expel like barely any heat from the dryer itself, which is really good if you do not have any room in like your kitchen, like we don't. So you'd need the dryer in like a spare room, so it won't cause like damp or anything, but it is advised that you do leave like a window or something open. So it is. And then obviously you've got ExpressDry, which I've talked about, and you do have a delay timer. So you can delay whenever the dryer finishes, and if I hold that, you'll see it goes up. 24 hours being the max. So this dryer has been like literally perfect for my family. I live in a family of 3, but even though that there's not many of us, we do a hell of a lot of washing. So we do like this dryer's on like at least once every like weekday pretty much, but on the likes of Fridays and Saturdays, I can do up to 5 washes a day on them days. So as you can imagine, it does run quite a lot. It is really quiet. You do get this black door cover on it, which overall I'm not really keen on. I'm not keen on like black door covers, but it doesn't really bother me, to be honest. The door is quite thick and really sturdy, so it is. And also this door can be reversed if you want to. It does come, whenever you get the dryer, it will come with like a wee booklet, and it will tell you how to actually reverse this door. So you can do that. If I shut the door, underneath here you have got basically your evaporator. You need to clean this every month. They do supply a wee brush. This is really handy if you want to clean them filters as well. And you use it for the evaporator in there as well. And it just locks in like so. And it's hard to do it with one hand. Then you just pull it to the right. So if I open this up for you, because why not? So in here you will have these fins, and these need cleaned typically about once a month. So you do need to do that with the dryer. Isn't as bad in my opinion as like a condenser box would be in a normal condenser dryer, as you just have to get this wee brush and just brush the fins, but you do have to go in like an upward and downward motion. You can't go side to side, or else that could damage the fins potentially. So if I stick that back on, then they have changed this so that this closes with magnets now, which is really good. So like overall, I love this dryer. It is amazing. It is miles better than their Grundig and Beko. They are the same company. For the people who actually like didn't know, they are, Grundig's just a sister brand of Beko. So it has been amazing. They've improved quite a lot from the previous series of dryers. So they have actually changed the drum in this. So instead of your typical dryer drum, that they've actually made it stainless steel. So they have, like, it wouldn't be like your typical dryer drum. So it wouldn't. But like, yeah, it's amazing. So it is. So I did get this whenever this had only been released for like a week. So like, these were extremely new to the market whenever I got it. So I am like pretty much like one of the first to actually own one of these. And yeah, it's been amazing. But there are some cons about it. So on some cycles, particularly, the only ones I've pretty much noticed are cottons and hygienic drying. During the drying phase, it will not reverse at all. It will only turn one way for the full length of the cycle until it gets to the cool down stage, where it will alternate between both directions. But like, it's not good. Although with cottons, if you don't use ExpressDry on it, I did only notice this last night. But if you don't use ExpressDry on cottons, then it will reverse during the drying phase. But even though that doesn't reverse on the likes of hygienic drying, it hasn't tangled anything yet. Like, I've never had to stop it with bedding due to it like balling up. It's never balled up for me at all. Another con would be if you were to dry like a small load. I typically dry I'd do a white t-shirt wash, and there'd only be about like 4 or 5 white t-shirts. If you do like a small load, typically like one of the t-shirts will get stuck between this filter and the door, and it will be like pressed in between the two, and it won't be on stock, if you get what I mean. So it will just be like laying here during the drying, and it will block the airflow through the filter. So it will, and basically it won't dry the t-shirt unless you stop the dryer and take it out. So that would be one other con, and I'm gonna stick this on to show you my final con. So whenever it turns faster, it might just be an issue because of it being on the wooden flooring, but notice that for some reason it like rattles, the side panel of it rattles. This would be the loudest that it would get on normal use, which like, if I like take it down here, like this is with the door open. I'll go downstairs. So obviously I'm right next to the room now. So like say if I was to go like into my kitchen where I've got the washer on, like you wouldn't really hear it, although I have got the washer on, so like it isn't that loud, so it's not. It isn't that loud like at all. In normal use, like you'd be able to talk over it. So you would. It's just that rattling, like. Once it's on for a wee bit, it does quiet down though, it won't be as loud. But yeah. So that's pretty much it. I'll stop it now. And then obviously like, that's just a compressor on it, so it was. So yeah, overall I'd give this a solid like 8.5 out of 10. It is pretty much probably like the best dryer we could get for us, even with like them few slight cons. It is amazing for us. It dries extremely fast considering the fact that it's a heat pump. So it does, no matter what you use, it will dry the clothes really fast. The drum's really big with it being 8 kilo. And then, obviously, well, right now I've got an 8 kilo washer. But hopefully in a couple of weeks I'm going to get the matching washer to this dryer. So I can't wait for that either. Like, I currently do not like my washer at all. Even though that it's gonna be like from the same brand as that's the new one. But yeah. So overall, if you're looking to buy a heat pump dryer on the market, just go for this one, or else the Beko variant, which will be a Beko Rapid Dry B Pro 500. It's effectively the same appliance, so it is. I would definitely say this is worth the £650 price tag that I did pay for it. It's like very perfect. The water containers are really good size, really easy to empty, so it is. There hasn't been a time yet where I've had to actually empty that during a cycle. So there hasn't, and that's with me having dried a completely full 8 kilo load of towels in it, which is amazing. So yeah, that's my review. Highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.